Pass, ninaani wewe tu, ninawera double K, mwalimu panda kasi mwalimu.
Hello darlings, how are you doing? I hope you guys are doing fine. Jerry Kimani here in the house with our second episode on our series of personal branding. With our second episode on our series of personal branding. And today, I wanted to say tonight, and today we're going to look at the foundation of your brand, which is very huge. It's about self-image and self-concept. So self-image, I would say, is the internal mirror that reflects outward as your brand. And it's the mental picture that you hold for yourself. So who do you see when you look into the mirror of your mind? How do you feel about yourself? Do you think that you're capable, even though as other people might say that, all right, okay, fine, you do so well, you're talented, you're gifted, you're creative, you're intelligent, but do you believe those things to be? So how do you see yourself? That's all we're going to tackle today, because self-image is very important in all areas of our life. So if your self-image is broken, I don't believe, even if you might have the perfect social media strategy, or even you might be the intelligent person in the room within your corporate world or wherever, you might still fail to build a strong personal brand. And that's what we're going to be looking at and discuss about it. So first of all, the self-image is built from our past experiences and also the labels that we were given, because absolutely we know that a lot of us, were brought up in spaces and environments that were not so healthy. And also, there were those labels maybe at school, by your teachers, by your relatives and all that. And you hold on to, those words that were said about you, that you were labeled. Because, what you say to people, especially kids, it might not seem like it might affect them, but it's very powerful because they carry that with them. So the labels you're given, they kind of affect people when it in terms of when they get into adulthood. So self-image as well, it's also built in internal beliefs about your worth, your beauty, your intelligence, your creativity, your talent, your knowledge, your wisdom. So you might find someone who is really talented into something, or they're very creative, or they're even intelligent, but they don't believe that, no matter how much you affirm them. So that's what we call internal beliefs. So what are your internal beliefs? And this has a connection to personal branding. So for one, it either gives you, depending on your internal beliefs, it's gonna come up with either a low self-image, which kind of like you hide yourself, you downplay your gifts and your talents and your creativity. And also like you show up inconsistently. So if you're the kind of a person that is not very quite consistent when you start something, maybe you have to go back and check about your internal beliefs. What do you believe about yourself? That could be a connection of low self-image. Now there's this high aligned self-image where you have confidence, there is presence, there is clarity that radiates outward. People see you, you're a go-getter, you're not scared even to take risks. And even though you might be fearful a bit, you're not scared, you're okay, you're very much okay to move out of your comfort zone. So I think we're going to dive more into the definition and the essence of it. So like I've said, self-image, it's the mental picture you hold of yourself. So it's more like an inner portrait, I'll say, that you carry in your mind with you. So it's not reality, but rather it's your perception of your reality. So kind of like shaped with your beliefs and memories and experiences and self-talk as well. So a lot of us that struggle with low self-image, they they have a way, they have a negative limiting belief that we call like negative self-talk. So no matter how much you affirm them, although they know they're intelligent and they can do it, but still there's that thing within them at the back of their mind that fights them so much. So I want to emphasize that every action you take in life is filtered through your self-image, whatever, even everything that you achieve in this world, it's filtered. It's all going to come to your self-image. So if you see yourself as a shy and unworthy person, you kind of like may avoid networking with people. You might, avoid, like having to or be open to opportunities that comes that people come and probably they present an opportunity, but you don't want to pick it because you don't think that you have the qualities, although the other people, that's not what they say. So the other way, when you're confident and you're resourceful, you're going to be, so it means you have a high self-image of yourself. So you're going to be a go-getter. You'll not be scared. Although sometimes you might be fearful of trying new things, but you're not scared, because you just have that confidence in you. And I'll talk about the layers of self-image because we have 4 layers of self-image. So we got physical self-image, we got psychological, there's also social self-image, and there's a spiritual value-based self-image. And let's look at physical self-image. So it's about how you perceive your looks, your body, your appearance, and the influences with this, it's your style, your grooming, your confidence in presence. So we look at psychological, sorry, we've talked about physical, so let's look at psychological self-image. It's about how you view in your mind. Do you think you're intelligent? So even when people say that you're creative, do you believe so? So it's all about your intelligence, your creativity, or even your emotional strength. And the influences, it's the confidence in sharing ideas, and being a thoughtful leader, having to volunteer and start collaborating with other people. So social self-image as well, it's how you see yourself in relation to others. And do you think you're likable, respectful, respected, and valued? And the influences as well, it's also come to networking, collaborations too, and audience engagement. So even on social events or something like that, it doesn't really have to be on social media, it doesn't really have to be online, but also offline. Are you able to engage with the people that surround you? So let's look at the 4th layer. It's the spiritual value-based self-image. So how you connect with your purpose and with your faith and your values. And the influences is the authenticity. Do you show up in authenticity? Alignment. Are you aligned with your values? And the mission-driven branding. So these are the 4 layers that contribute to your self-image. So if one is imbalanced, you might struggle somehow as you're trying to build your personal brand. So you have to kind of like balance all of them together. You have to work them out. There's no escaping this. So let me talk about how self-image shapes personal branding. So there's what I call the inner-outer connection. So if you see yourself small, I think your brand shows up small as well. So you underprice and you play safe, and also you're so scared and you avoid visibility. As much as you know that you're very talented and you're creative and you're knowledgeable, you're full of wisdom, you still downplay yourself. And if you see yourself as valuable, your brand is going to command respect. You're going to have higher engagement. You'll not be scared about higher engagement, and you'll have stronger positioning. So let me talk about the magnetic branding principle. So people don't just buy your content. People don't just buy anything that you're just going to come and talk about, but they buy the energy of how you see yourself. People can read energy. So that's what they're going to buy into. Self-image determines whether others see you as trustworthy, confident, and credible. And a very good example, it's Beyonce. We all know Beyonce. And the lady has built her stage presence just by stepping into her alter ego. We all do have our alter ego, although sometimes it's good to tame our ego, but also when it comes to now working into personal brand, you have to literally bring it up to you. So and we all know her alter ego is the Sasha Fierce, and is a reflamed self-image that kind of like made her be able to brand a project of power and confidence. So that's her alter ego. So you have to go back to your drawing board and ask, what's your alter ego, and you tap into that. So let's talk about what builds and what breaks a self-image. So I'll start with what builds a self-image. It's the achievement. It's the big and small wins. A lot of us don't like to celebrate our small wins, but it's those through small wins you're going to build the confidence within you. And we all know that in every area of your life, you'll have to start small. And if you can't celebrate those small wins for you, then I don't even think that you're going to be very satisfied when the big win comes. So the way you can build it, it's through those, celebrating those small steps. The other thing is a positive affirmations and the environment. So let me say that as much as you're going to be affirming yourself positively and you're in an environment where it's just you're influenced with negativity a lot, it's not going to work. So you have to balance the two when you're trying to live a positive life as well. What kind of an environment? The people that's not even just the people that surround you, the people that you talk to daily, what do they say to you? Do they affirm you, or do they just sell you negativity? So the other thing that builds self-image, it's aligned habits. What are your habits? So it's the grooming, it's the fitness, it's the preparation. So what are your habits? You have to work onto that so that you can build, a strong self-image. And the other thing, it's a supportive communities and mentors. So do you have people that support you? Do you have people that help you as you're taking your steps towards building whatever you're building in life? So you have to find a community that are going to be clapping for you, and also that are going to kind of like pinpoint your weaknesses and your strength, because sometimes we don't really see ourselves. As much as we want to believe into ourselves, we also need people who are stable. And what I mean stable, it's they don't have negative influences, and mentally they can pinpoint your weaknesses without hitting you or even trying to what's the word, Lord? It's Friday. My mind is not thinking. They're not trying to belittle you. I think that's the word. Yeah, because there is a very nice way, in a kind way, you can pinpoint someone's weaknesses without kind of like bashing them. So you get my point. So what breaks self-image? It's the constant comparison. And I keep on saying comparison is the thief of joy. And especially now in these modern days when social media is a big influence, we have to stop comparing ourselves and comparing our journey with other people. We're all walking in different paths. And as much as we might be doing the same thing or something similar, it doesn't mean that we have to walk the same path. So we might be doing, maybe our goal might be the same, but we have to do things differently. We'll have different methodology to go about achieving our main goal. So do not compare yourself. Comparison, I keep on saying, is the thief of joy. The other thing that breaks self-image, it's the past failures being replayed every now and then. So it comes as a proof of that you can't succeed. You did it last time, so why are you doing it? You're gonna fail anyway. So do not replay that at the back of your mind. Also, even when you're being surrounded by people who keep on like literally repeating to you all all day long about your past failures. They're not helping. They're not offering solutions. So the other thing that breaks self-image, it's negative labels given by family, like I've said, by teachers, by your colleagues, by your peers. You have to let the negative influences go. And the other thing is inconsistency. So saying that you're going to do something and then you don't follow it through. And also inconsistency can come as a way of trying to kind of like procrastinate. Okay, I'm going to do it tomorrow, because the main thing is that you don't really have enough faith or believing that you can do that, or you're the very best person that there is who can deliver the way you're supposed to deliver. So that inconsistency, you have to tame it so that it don't break your self-image. So let's look on the ways that we can shift self-image to a stronger branding. Awareness. So you need to identify how you currently see yourself. So you cannot fix something that you cannot see, or you don't know, or you're not even familiar with. So you need to ask yourself, so when you think about yourself, what words comes into your mind? So you have to write that down. You have to be aware of your current self-image, so that now we can shift to start creating, the self-image that you desire. So the other way we can shift is through alignment. So you need to match your inner picture that you're holding on to with the brand and identity you want to project to the outer world. The other thing is action. You need to take some small and repeated behaviors so that they can reinforce a new image. And I say, like, early in the morning, because I do have a particular self-image for myself, that inner picture. So I like to spend some time and meditate on it and say my affirmations and visualize that inner picture of mine. So when you do that repeatedly, your subconscious mind doesn't have a choice but rather to believe it. So, and in that way, you're going to get confidence, and it's confidence that is built in practice, not just imagination alone. It's something you're working towards to. And let me say also, it's a way, when it comes to self-image and personal branding, it's the way you carry yourself, how you feel about yourself, because we can sit here all day long and give all the ideas, but yourself, how do you feel about you? Do you think that you're that creative person? Do you think that you can embody that feminine power, and you just, go and achieve whatever you want to achieve through, tapping into your alter ego? Do you think you're in that capability to do that? So you need to reinforce a new image through building confidence, and the confidence is also going to be built into, being practical, not just, visualizing alone and imagination. So let me say that self-image is the root system of your brand. And if the roots are weak, you're going to have a weak brand, and that brand cannot grow. So, and if your roots are strong, obviously, you're going to have a brand that's going to flourish naturally. So you cannot build a powerful personal brand with a poor self-image. Upgrade your inner picture, and your outer presence is going to match it, and then you're going to bloom. So let us talk about self-image rebuild framework. So I have a 5-step system to upgrade that. So on the way that you're going to see yourself and strengthen your brand. Number 1, I like to talk about auditing a lot. So if you've been following my episodes, I talk about audit. So we're going to step 1, it's the awareness audit, which is your my inner mirror. And the purpose is you can't rebuild what you don't first notice or what you're not familiar with. And the exercise that you need to do here, it's you need to come up with 10 words that from your mind about how you think and see yourself. And also you need to circle the words that are empowering, like I'm bold, creative, confident, intelligent, capable, and all that. Positive, I'm full of positivity. So put a line through the words that are also limiting, as procrastinator, lazy, inconsistency, unworthy, I don't feel good enough, and also invisible. And the takeaway, it's awareness is going to show you the gap between your current self-image and the one you want to project. So now that is auditing your inner mirror. Step 2, you need to rewrite a script. And I call it brand I am declaration. The purpose is you need to replace your negative self-talk with intentional identity statements. For example, it's I am bold communicator who inspires people to rise above fear. Or I am a creative content creator. I am a creative, a lady, a gentleman, and who uses probably, let's say, storytelling, to shift mindset and all that. So you need to speak it loudly. So when you create your brand I am declaration. So this is I am, then you insert the adjective and the role, and then also you say who you also impact and the statement. Yeah, it's very simple. So once you do that, you repeat that every single day. It's a daily practice. Speak it loud in front of the mirror every morning before you go to sleep, when you're walking, you don't have to come up with many, just one that's going to be your brand I am declaration, and you're going to stick with it. Step 3, it's visual identity upgrade. See it before you live it. You have to see it, you have to feel it. You always have to have an idea of what you want to be. So if you can't see it, then I don't think you're going to be able to bring it into existence, or even you're not going to come up with a strategy that you're going to, rebuild your new self-image. And the purpose is self-image is kind of like shaped by visualizing. You need to visualize that person that you want to become, the brand that you want to be. You have to see it. Just spend some minutes or even seconds every day in the morning and even before you go to bed, and imagine yourself walking in a room as your ideal self. That's the focus that you always have to have. And also you have to be very intentional. What are you wearing? Who are you meeting? And what are you doing? How are you standing? How are you communicating to people? What energy are you giving to other people? Journal that and say how it felt. So that practical tool, it's all about aligning your style, your grooming, your digital presence with that vision. And the other thing is also you need to update your profiles, right? So you can't come here and tell me that this is who you are, and then when I go to your profile, I do not see that energy being portrayed. So you need to be very intentional and also use confident body language. Yeah, so step 4, it's micro actions. Build evidence for the new you. So every action that you take is going to reinforce your self-image. For example, choose one daily action that you're going to take that's going to reflect the new brand you. So if you see yourself as a thoughtful woman, an empowering one, so do something that's going to empower other people. Probably if you do have a social media account, you can do that. It's very easy, and you don't even need to care what other people think about you. That's none of your business. The business here is what and how you feel and how you see about yourself. All right, so if you see yourself as a disciplined person, can you just stick to one of your morning routine and you repeat it daily? If you see yourself as confident, introduce yourself first to people in meetings, wherever. There are people who are very scared, although they do have that confidence in them, they just need to rebuild it, and they keep on repeating the same until it becomes a normal thing to them. So that's why I'm saying, like, small wins, these might look like very small steps, but small wins are going to accumulate, and they're going to reshape your identity faster than even those one big of changes that you might like dream of doing. So start small, and then you upgrade as the growth comes in. Number 5, it's the feedback loop. borrowed eyes, that's what we call them. So others' perception as well can help you adjust and align your self-image. So you need to take 3 people that you really trust, and I talk about people that you're very close to, and these people, they don't have malicious intentions towards your growth. So, and ask them, what's that comes into your mind, into their minds when they think of you. So compare their answers and that of your brand I am declaration. Notice what is aligning and what needs to be reinforced in how you show up. So, darlings, we've said you need to do awareness audit. You need to identify your current inner mirror. You kind of like rewrite the script. So create your brand I am declaration. Then you need to do visual identity upgrade. You align your appearance and your presence with vision. Micro actions, which means daily behaviors that are going to give birth to new identity. And feedback loop, it's going to adjust with that's going to adjust with your external perception. I need you to work on your awareness audit. I don't know why I'm talking about awareness audit. And I also need you to write your brand I am statement and share it with me in the comment section. I also need you to practice the mirror exercise daily for 7 days so that you create a habit for yourself. And by that, I think you're going to build an authentic and a personal brand that's going to be successful and inspiring. So my darlings, that's the end of today, and next time we're going to look at the psychology behind self-image and the self-concept. And I'm wishing you all a lovely week ahead, and see you on the next one. Bye.